Label Radio.
Yo, my man rapper Big Pooh in the building.
Yeah, that's the hit right there.
That's that joint right there.
That's the hit.
Like I said, when that album came out, I was just shocked. Like, you guys hit me hard because I mean, of course, the sophomore jinx and all the rest of that stuff or whatever, but you guys actually took that and threw it in the trash, and this was better than the first album.
That's what's up, man. Thank you.
But it seemed like you guys always evolved, even when Ninth left the group and you guys did the duo thing or whatever. You guys always had something to prove. It's like you had a chip on your shoulder every time you put out a record.
Because we always did. It was always something. You know what I mean? Like, whether it was internal or external, it was always something that it was like, of course, we got expectations, that others would have, and then we have our own expectations. So we always went into it like, yo, we got to get it done. I mean, it's personal points to prove, group points to prove. So, that's how we always attack things.
So I have a question for you. This is random as fuck. But if you seen Benny B today, would it be some furniture moving?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And you ain't the only one, because I know that there's a lot of people that says that,
Benny B got some money for me over there somewhere.
I heard,
He probably got money for everybody.
Shit, dilated shit. It's a long list of people that Benny B.
It'll be some furniture moving.
Okay.
That ain't all love right there.
Have you seen him since the split from the label?
I talked to him like through email once.
Through attorneys?
Nah. It was direct email, and it was like, yo, actually the 10-year anniversary of the listening. Like, I emailed and was like, yo, I know we ain't eye to eye right now, but definitely want to just send a thank you out, because without you, the listening wouldn't have became what it became. Like, as far as his form of distribution and all that good stuff. So he definitely opened up a lot of doors for us. So I never forget that. Like, he's part of the history as well. But I ended the email with, you owe that bread. What's up with that bread?
And what'd he say?
I didn't get an email back.
Not a thank you? None of that?
Nah. He know what it is. Like, I'm on your neck about that bread.
Okay.
Give it up. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. So, like, how does it feel to be, 10 years removed, 15 years removed, or whatever, from your first album, and have 18-year-old kids reciting every line and fanning out over your music?
You feel old. like no lie, I was at the what was it called? Temple Bar.
Yes.
I don't even know if it's still at, but the Temple Bar. And this is Pac Div was getting ready to perform. Obviously, this was years ago. And they was getting ready to perform. And this is my first time meeting them. And I was there, and I'm like, yo, I wanted to meet y'all, fans. And they were like, yo, we listened to you since we was in high school. And I was like, don't say that shit. Like, you making me feel so old right now. But I mean, that's just the reality. Like, a lot of these kids, like, I gotta realize, like, I'm 18 years older than a lot of these kids now. And a lot of them that's up and doing it. But the reality is they was listening to us in high school. So it makes you feel like, damn, yo, like, I've been in it that long. It don't feel like it goes by so fast. It doesn't feel like that long, but it make you feel like, yo, I'm big homie for real.
So now you are EPMD now.
Yeah, I'm big brother.
Little brother.
Exactly.
You ain't little brother no more.
Nah, definitely not. And it feels weird. I mean, I definitely, I'm honored, to be looked up to by a lot of these cats. A lot of them doing big things, but it's just still, it's like, yo, nah, I can swim with the sharks too, homie. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't done. I'm older, but I ain't done. But I mean, it's definitely an honor though, man.
Okay. You ain't done?
Nah, I ain't done.
I ain't done. Nah, the new album is dope. So we're gonna get into that. But after the minstrel show, like, is it true that BET banned your music because it was too intellectual or whatever and shit?
Yeah, they wouldn't play the video. And that's the crazy thing. Like, that wasn't even the video we really wanted to make. That's just the video we ended up making. And I mean,
do you have emails that say that?
Nah, I mean, we got first, like, the label told us, and we was like, nah, they ain't say that shit. But then it was like, nah, they said it. And then we got confirmation later from somebody that worked in BET that it was said. Like, it was like, nah, that's too intelligent for our audience. But the crazy thing is, like we were offended, but then at the end of the day, I started thinking, like, why the fuck are we offended?
Yeah.
The audience should be offended. They calling y'all motherfuckers stupid, not
right?
us. So it was one of them things. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, look where they at now. They don't even play videos. Like, you know what I mean? But it still, it was disappointing. Like, yo,
people ain't rocking
black
with you.
Entertainment television and you won't play our video. Like you ended up playing it like a couple times, just like your hand was forced. But
yeah,
I that's one thing. I don't regret many things, but that's one of the things I regret, that the way we went about it. Like the label's like, yo, just keep it chill, but at the end of the day, it's like, yo, y'all didn't help us out none. Like all of the pool they had at the time, that's when T.I. was there, Fat Joe, Fabulous, Juvenile, like all of them was jumping.
They could have flexed their muscle.
They could have flexed their muscle, and it's like, yo, y'all let them step on us, you know what I mean, without doing anything. But so now I'm like, thinking back, I'm like, yo, I should have just was like, fuck it. I should just went balls to the wall and talk that shit. But
yeah.
I didn't. I played Good Soldier, and that's one of the things I regretted, playing Good Soldier.
Hey, but it's a good story now. But it still don't feel good.
Nah, it still left a bad taste in my mouth.
So let's move on. So you guys did the Chitlin Circuit, and like I said, every time you guys released the project, it surprised me. Chitlin Circuit surprised me too, because I'm like, okay, Minstrel Show was dope. Chitlin Circuit was one of those ones like, wow, okay. 1.5 though. Chitlin Circuit 1.5.
Okay.
I mean,
it's a difference between regular and 1.5.
Yes,
it's
okay. Let me rephrase that. Chitlin Circuit 1.5
Gotcha.
was dope. The other one was kind of okay.
The thing about that was like the first one, it was just songs we had, like, okay, that we wasn't putting anywhere. So we was like, yo, like Fonte, one of them dudes, he don't believe in hoarding music. Like if I do it, it needs to go out to the people
somewhere, right?
So it's just one of them things like, yo, let's just put the shit out. Like, and then it caught the attention of a lot of people. And then like they was still Koch at the time. They was like, ooh, we want that. So we ended up making the 1.5. So we took some of the tracks we knew we was gonna have problems with if we put out off, and then we just went in and recorded some more. We just filled in the blanks wherever we needed to fill them in. And I mean, actually, because that actually came out before the Minstrel Show, but we recorded it pretty much after the Minstrel Show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then even after that, like after the Minstrel Show, that's when we ended up recording the Separate But Equal joint for the Gangsters Grill for DJ Drama, which was us, all of the anger and frustration we had with how the Minstrel Show was played out by the label, like how the situation played out. We put all of that into the Separate But Equal, which turned into a very aggressive piece of work. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, everything comes with its own set of circumstances for us. And you can always kind of, you might not know the specifics, but you can tell, like, okay, they going through some shit.
You can tell. And if the Minstrel Show is my favorite studio album, if I put the studio albums and mixtapes all together, the Separate But Equal is by far the best project you guys have ever put out in my eyes.
That's the one where, you watch boxing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, normally Jim Lampley or somebody be like, oh, he just, or one of the analysts be like, he need to let the hands go. Yeah. That was us letting the hands go.
And it was, you can feel it. You can just feel it. It was no holds barred. There was no restraints. It was nothing. It was like, shit, I'm just going to go all, and of course, Drama talking that shit too as well. It just amped you up or whatever. It by far is the best project you guys ever put out as a group.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, I enjoyed doing that one because that one was free. It was like, yo, we just, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to just go in here and talk that shit, and whoever offended, fuck them. Like,
and it caught us off guard because, Drama was doing all the, ghetto shit.
Like what a lot of people don't realize is if they didn't know Drama before, like Drama is a true head. So
he's from Philly, so he has to be.
He a true head. And the thing about it, like we had talked about doing the Gangster Grills like before the Minstrel Show even came out. Like we were on tour and we stopped in Atlanta and we was on the tour bus. Drama came on the tour bus and was like, yo, I've been a fan or whatever, and like, yo, let's do a Gangster Grills. We was like, what? You want to do a Gangster Grills with us? And he was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do one. So the timing just ended up being right, but that was something that was in the road, like that was in the cards, like for a minute.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. But since we're talking about Chitlin Circuit 1.5, let's get into a couple of joints that are banging out there. This one right here is called War.
Ooh.
Look at you. I love it. I love it because
I haven't heard this in so long.
I love it. Let's get into it. This is White Label Radio. DJ Nails are the 1 and 2s. I am Mellow One. This is Dash. Let's do it. So, yo, like, we need a reunion show or something, man. I'm just thinking about that. It's all good. Man, yo, don't crush my dreams. That's like when my son found out it wasn't Santa Claus.
This the thing, right? Yeah, because ain't no damn Santa Claus. Look, this is the thing, right? when you the suit, and I'm not telling people to forget about it, because I mean, obviously it's a part of, you know, we touched people in a certain way. Pause, but. Not faster, but as soon as you realize, like, and come to the realization, like, yo, this is over, right? It's like, yo, it's not gonna happen. Like, you just gotta realize, like, it's not gonna happen. If something was to happen, it will be that much better for you. It's like when you know,
it's a surprise, right?
Yeah, it's like, you know, okay, I got into work at 8 o'clock and I get off at 5 o'clock, and then every 30 minutes you looking up at the clock, that shit gonna go slow as hell.
I got you. So don't look at the clock.
Don't look at the clock.
One day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna see.
Just let time happen. I'm not gonna tell you what you're gonna see. Just let time happen, though. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. And that's the thing. Is like, you know, because we definitely appreciate it, but the problem comes with us. Like, the frustration comes with, like, you know, we definitely, I'm gonna speak for me here. I definitely appreciate it. That's my foundation. It's tatted on my arm. It's never going anywhere. But some people, not you specifically, but some people get so consumed with it. It's like, bruh, we haven't did anything together since 2010, right? It's 2005. You know how much work I got in these streets? Like, are we gonna talk about that work? If you're not a fan, just say you're not a fan of that work, but we gonna talk about that work. So it gets to that point, because I done had interviews where that's all, like, they just want to dig. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, yo, you can go back and check my interviews from 2010 to now, or 2011 when we officially broke up to now. It's like, yo, you're not gonna see nothing different.
And it's funny you said I did do some YouTube, and I'm like, yo, but I'm gonna ask anyway, damn it. But
I mean, I know it's coming. Like, don't get it twisted.
Of course, but that's a good segue, because now this is the part of the show where we talking about the new shit.
Awesome.
The new shit.
See, I don't even have a sheet in front of me. I just got that ESP.
Segue,
you know what I mean?
Whatever. And like you said, one thing about you and Little Brother and you as an artist, you guys always evolved and gave us better shit.
That's what you're supposed to do as an artist.
And you're right, but come on. Now,
it doesn't happen most of the time.
It doesn't happen very often.
That's what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't happen.
I always talk about artists that owe me money for buying their albums.
Yeah, I got a lot of those. Yep.
I got a bunch of those.
Yeah,
you know, definitely. Especially the singles is banging. I mean, like for example, I'm just gonna throw an example out there. Witch Doctor from Atlanta.
Oh yeah, for Dungeon Family.
Yeah, he had an amazing single, and I bought that whack ass album. I need my money back. Whenever I bump a check, I need my $12.99. I need that back. But you always evolve. Now it's funny because DJ Nels, when we was going through the playlist or whatever, he's like, you didn't put anything from Sleepers on this playlist. Oh. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really like that album.
You didn't like that album?
No, I did not. Actually, it grew on me. Here we go. Here we go.
See, you done offended him. You done insulted him.
I mean, that album to me is Big Pooh's. Besides this new joint with Apollo Brown, which I really love, so I'm a big fan of Apollo Brown and his collab albums with like Razcaz that he just put out, and just his instrumental work. I feel like Sleepers is just completely solid, front to back. Like, I love that album. I bought that album.
So
I love that album.
Let me explain why. Okay. It's because after hearing the Little Brother sound and you guys evolved with the Little Brother sounds, you came with Sleepers and the sound was totally kind of different. So now what I did was, after he spoke on it, after I've kind of let it, you know, I went back and listened to it, and it's not as bad as I thought it was before, but I think I was one of those jaded cats that was a Little Brother fan. I was like, oh my God, where's Ninth Wonder? Where's, Fonte? And it just wasn't that.
It was different, man.
It was different.
That's the thing about being in a group. Like, everybody had to compromise some of who they were artistically in order to make the group work like it worked.
Yeah.
So once you step outside of the group setting, then you're free to do whatever. Like, you're free to be you, like 100%. So even like take like the Foreign Exchange, right? The first Foreign Exchange album. The reason why I was on that album 3 times is because those were the first 3 tracks that we did once Tay found Nicolay on the internet.
Yeah.
And then it only stopped because he played a joint for me, and I was like, nah, I don't want to rap on that, bro. That's not where I want to go. And so he continued, and then he asked me, he's like, yo, would you mind if I ended up doing, like, I was like, nah, do your thing. Because I knew that's not where I wanted to go with it.
Yeah.
And I understood that. That's where he wanted to go. But as Little Brother, he knew he couldn't do that to that magnitude.
Yeah, with you.
With me.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of how it played out. So even with Sleepers, I got to do me. So it was Ninth in Crisis on the beats, but it was a different Ninth in Crisis.
The sound,
it wasn't necessary a little brother. Like basically, this is a little brother album without Fonte on it. Like it wasn't that. It was a Big Pooh.
And
album.
I think as a jaded fan, I was looking for a little brother album without Fonte on it.
I mean, that's what a lot of people probably went looking for, and it wasn't that.
I still bought it, and like I said, I played it, and I played it recently, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, you can hear traces. Obviously, you can hear traces of Little Brother in it, but it's not a Little Brother project. So I never like. That's always been my thing. I never wanted to make a project that sounded like a Little Brother project. It was just missing Fonte. Like I never wanted that. Plus, my palette was a lot different. Like I grew up, I listened to the native tongues and all that, like the boom bap, I loved it, but I was more geared toward what was happening over here. Yeah. Like that was where I was at with it. So I eventually wanted to make stuff that sounded like that. Yeah. And that's where I ended up going.
And now we're here. You hooked up with Apollo Brown. Like Nels just said, Apollo Brown is a godsend as far as new producers or whatever. He makes amazing records with people. How did you connect with Apollo Brown?
Me and Apollo known each other for a few years, and it was just one of them things where we always talked about doing records together. And the label he was on, and got my projects on, Mellow Music. They actually they hit me like I was the first artist to do a feature on one of their singles when they first started. And he ended up hitting me after I put out the Purple Tape mixtape with Black Milk and was like, yo, I want to do a project with you and Apollo. And I was like, all right, okay, all right. I had heard Apollo, and I was like, yeah, I like him, all right. We just couldn't work out the business situation at the time. And so it just so happened a couple years later, I come back and I had the Knots project that I was working on, and I was trying to find a home for it because it was something I was like, I could easily put it out myself, but I need somebody to actually put a little bit of money behind this to make it go. And so I reached out about that, and then it just came back full circle to like, yo, yeah, I want that, and do something with the producers on the label, which was Apollo, Odyssey, LaRange. And Apollo ended up hearing the first joint I did, which didn't even end up on the record, but he heard the first joint I did, was like, yo, this just gonna be me and you, homie. and I was like, yeah, tell dude at the label, we make it happen. So and that's how that kind of ended up happening.
It's dope. It's funny because I bought it on Amazon. It hasn't even came yet. Wow. But I actually listened to it, like the player on Roots, OK Player, whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah. I listened to it, the streaming or whatever, and I listened to it since I talked to you like 3 days ago. I've been listening to it. Okay. And I was like, yo, this is actually dope.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
This is actually dope. And I'm a fan. And one thing about me, if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has sat in that seat, I've actually rocked with you in some way, shape, or form.
That's what's up.
And this new project, like I said, I wouldn't say it's a rebirth, but it's one of those things that's like, damn, Pooh still got it, and he better than a lot of you new niggas.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of them things where I'm always trying to find a way to get better, to be better than I was the last time people heard me. And I mean, for this record, it was a little bit of nostalgia for people because, Apollo is boom bap, the way he chops samples. It's reminiscent of, Ninth. Obviously he has his own little twist on it, but it's similar. So for people, it was that familiarity sound wise, but for me, it was different, like in the way I was writing, like how I wrote. Like I'm a much better writer than I was back then. I'm a much better song writer, a much better artist, like everything. So I was able to put that into what he was giving me production wise, and I just, I had something I wanted to say, and I said it.
And your first single was Augmentation?
Nah, that was actually the second. The first single was Stop.
Okay, so the second single is the best song on the album.
Thank you,
the second is best song on the album. I'm like, that's one I have on repeat when I listened to it, saying probably 20 times in the last 3 days or whatever. And that by far is one I always kind of go back to.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
The beats, the rhymes, everything kind of mesh very well together.
Definitely. I was trying to do the little stagnated flow for the second verse. It just wasn't panning out. But I had a lot of fun making that record. Like I was just in there just going for it.
It's dope. So let's get into it right now. Augmentation, Apollo Brown, rapper Big Pooh, White Label Radio. This is how we do, man. Hip hop talks with legends. Let's do it.